All right, so another Skillslab exciting webinar, and today I've got a guy that I consider, I guess I could say your friend now, Toucan. So like we're like buddies,
I think so.
And we've helped LeadSift, which we'll get into that in a minute, with some of their marketing strategy. They've helped us with some of our customers. I mean, we know what they do really, really well. But the thing is, I want to let everybody else know what you guys do. So that's why I'm bringing you on. And I think everybody will get a lot of value out of this, because one of the major things that most of you are struggling with, if you're a marketer or a salesperson, is to help you identify who the heck are the people that you need to be having a conversation with on social. With all the noise going on, like, how do we pinpoint and zero in on the actual people that we need to spend our time with? And like I'd like to say, is optimize your networking, because we have limited time. But before I get started, Toucan, I just want to make sure, because you're muted, that we introduce you. You've got a pretty cool background, so just kind of give your background and how you started LeadSift, and where you're from, what you do.
Yeah, so my name is Toucan. I am the CEO and co-founder of LeadSift, originally from India. I moved to Canada about 16 years ago for my school. Went to university here. Background is in computer science, and with specialization in natural language processing. So that's where I started doing my master's. Sounds cliched, but I did drop out of my master's before finishing my thesis to start LeadSift with a couple of my co-founders. And so that's been my background. I've been working on LeadSift for the last 6 years. And just for context of everyone, and we might go later into details, the whole reason that we started LeadSift, the idea that excited us then, and it still excites us now, was we wanted to mine signals of intent from public unstructured data to better help businesses connect with their prospective customers. That was the whole idea, was look at data from massive amounts of unstructured web to pick up these nuggets of signal that we can better help connect businesses to their customers. So that was the whole idea. And now here we are.
So I want to start off with, I want to kind of work backwards of this. So
sure.
If I'm a marketer, maybe I'm in a VP role, or I'm a lower level marketer where I'm kind of in the weeds doing certain things, or I'm a salesperson. It's like, we know we need to be on social, right? Like, we're all starting to get it. Like, the light bulbs are starting to go off. But a lot of people are like, hey, how do I know, what my market share is on social, right? Like, how do I know how many people are in my industry on social media? Do you guys have a way that you go about that with customers when they're asking that question, to kind of start the process of what data should I be buying, right? Or like, what data should I be looking into? How do you do that for a client?
See, the thing is, any company that we talk to, or any company out there, they have a pretty good idea of their total addressable market, or they should, meaning who can they serve, and it's typically defined by their firmographic criteria, meaning the company size. They might have some industry specifications and some job titles. Pretty much everybody we talk to has that, so that's great. But the challenge there is, that number of companies can range from 10,000 to 20,000 to 100,000 potential companies and prospects that they can sell to potentially, or talk to. Now, the challenge that becomes is, it's not humanly possible to be talking to 10,000 or 100,000 people at the same time, having meaningful conversations. So the way we look at it is, your total addressable market is there, but what you really want to the people that you want to talk to optimize your time as a marketer and a salesperson, is people who are starting to do research about potentially buying your software or service, or actively in the market right now. Those are the people that you want to talk to. Now, stats says, at any given time, 3% of your audience is looking to buy your solution, and the other 40% is starting to do research. The remainder, they don't care. So if I'm a marketer or a salesperson, I want to maximize my time reaching out to that 3% of my total addressable market all the time. And the remainder 40% that is in the top of the funnel, starting to do the research, I want to get in front of them. I want them to know of my company or my solution, so that when they are in the buying journey moment, they will buy from me. So at LeadSift, what we help them is look at all these different signals from their total addressable market, so that they can then refine and say, oh, these are the 10 companies that are showing some kind of signal of being in the buying journey for what I sell. These are the people that these are companies, and these are the people that I should be getting in front of on social, on email, or ads, whatever channels you choose. But these are the people. Otherwise, you're trying to reach out to everyone, and because if what you are doing is not top of mind, it's not resonating with them. So that's how we look at it. That's how we help them. They know their total addressable market. We cannot define it for them or refine it. But what you can say is, of this total addressable market, these are the people that you should be looking at now because of this.
Yeah, because what, and being in the socials, well, I'm not a social selling trainer, but, it's being a social seller educator. One of the things that I find is that, and this goes for sales and marketing. So I feel like you can speak to both in this scenario, because essentially sales is marketing, marketing is sales today, right? Like it is what it is.
Yeah.
So what I find is that, you've got a few different people, a few different scenarios of why people aren't successful on social media. And one of the reasons is, from a marketing perspective, is a lot of times they're creating content, and the content or the videos or whatever type of content that is, that's not getting in front of the right people. So, they're creating this content, and they go, okay, well, I posted it on my LinkedIn page, I posted it on my Facebook page, and all of that's great, right? I mean, but the problem is that a lot of times what you get in social media is you get a lot of fans. You get your current customers. They're the best, because if they do like what you have to offer, they can share it. But a lot of times you just get friends, right? Toucan, family. They follow your Facebook page, they follow your LinkedIn page, or you have other people that are industry influencers, but they can never actually buy what you have to offer. So you kind of put all this content out, and you're like, oh man, we're doing really great. But you have nobody that's actually able to buy what you have to offer, right? So your social media is just it kind of goes in a black hole. The other thing is that, you find stagnant numbers. So a lot of salespeople or marketers will go into a LinkedIn Sales Navigator, which I highly suggest you do this. There's nothing wrong with it.
Yeah.
But they'll go and say, okay, how many VPs in my market are there, right? So I want to know VPs that are in healthcare that are at this company size and this much revenue. And you're like, okay, great. Well, now what happens is LinkedIn Sales Navigator gives you 10,000 people, okay? And then you're like, what do I do? So I want to kind of redefine this. If you're in this bucket, you're a marketer, you've got all this content, you're doing all this social media stuff, but you're just not getting the right people to download something, or your sales team's not getting in the right conversations from that, or you're a salesperson. I like to talk about the behavioral aspect of what you guys do, because I believe that behavioral marketing is the future of everything that we're going to do. It's identifying what you call triggers. What I like to call is behaviors. So identify what a behavior or a trigger is on social media. And let me preface this. We need to be selling and marketing to people 6 months before they're ready to buy. So what's a behavior or trigger that you guys are looking for in order to do that?
So the way I think about this is, from what I understand, if you think of behavioral intent or behavioral trigger, from a psychological perspective, what it means is, it basically says it is a predicted likelihood, or it's a probability of someone taking a specific action. That's what behavioral intent means. But to drill into it, the way we look at it is, from behavioral intent, is behavioral intent to buy specific software or services. That's how we look at it. And the way you can come up with behavioral intent could be a host of different things. You can look at multiple different things. The way we look at it is, when a company, and I go back to certain percent of companies are in the buying journey, we as a tool and everyone as a marketer or sales, your job is to figure out who these people are and when they are in the buying journey, right? So we look at it at LeadSift as picking up these little breadcrumbs these people or these companies leave as they go through the buying journey. There aren't a ton, but there are a lot of little pieces that if you start picking up and then connecting the dots, you can then figure out which of those VPs of 10,000 VPs of marketing should you be focusing your efforts on at this moment. And that's the key. So to give some context, some of the ways we look at picking up signals is, you mentioned you have thousands of VPs of marketing. Who should you go after? Well, one simple thing is, out of those thousands of VPs of marketing, if you can find out the group of people that are connected to some of your competitors or are engaging with content from your competitors, I would go after them first, because the fact that they're talking to them means this is topically relevant for them. They might be starting to be in the buying journey or further down the funnel. Either way, they know about your competitor,